Thank you for joining us at XM.com for this Forex Preview video. The Bank of Canada meets on Wednesday amid speculation that it's reaching the end of its tightening cycle. I'm Christina Marujos. Joining me today is our lead investment analyst, Rafi Boyadjian. Rafi, the Bank of Canada surprised everyone, I could say, when it delivered a 1% rate hike back in July, and now markets are thinking that the central bank might be close to ending its tightening cycle. Therefore, what are we likely to see at this week's meeting?
Well, Christina, as you said, we did get that full percentage point rate hike last time, and they don't seem to be slowing down just yet because market analysts are expecting another 75 basis point rate increase on Wednesday from the Bank of Canada. But the question now is if they do go ahead with a 75 basis point rate hike, what's going to come after that? So that's probably going to be where a lot of the focus is going to go on Wednesday because investors see the Bank of Canada's terminal rate around 3.75 or 4%, round about there. So if they do 75 basis point rate increase now, that's not going to leave that many rate increases to go after that to reach 3.75%. We are seeing some signs that inflation is peaking or has peaked in Canada because it did fall to 7.6% in July from 8.1%. Of course, Bank of Canada will need to see more data to get further confirmation that price pressures have started to ease. We are seeing some of that, though, at least in house prices, because of course Canada has a very hot property market, and we are seeing some moderation in house price growth in recent months, although there's still some way to go before I guess the Bank of Canada can be happy that the housing market has cooled down substantially at the moment. It probably considers the housing market to be still a little bit too hot, so there's probably a little bit more to go before it can be more comfortable, but we are seeing some slowdown as well in the jobs market too. The last two employment reports, we saw a drop in employment. So this could be the right time for the Bank of Canada to maybe pause a little bit before it sees how much further tightening is required. So although we're almost certain going to get if not 75, then at least 50 basis point rate increase on Wednesday, we may see the Bank of Canada maybe starting to sound a little bit more cautious in terms of what's going to come after that.
Let's also look at the Canadian dollar because the Loonie is the second best performing currency this year so far. However, it hasn't really gained on the oil rally much. What could the market reaction be after the Bank of Canada meeting?
Well, indeed, it's been a bit of a funny story with the Canadian dollar because there's been so many different factors influencing it this year, from oil prices to the risk sentiment, general risk sentiment, to what's happening in the US as well. Because of course, Canada's economy is usually reliant on US growth, so any slowdowns there or any worries about the US economy would harm the Canadian dollar as well. But I think at the moment it's, there's probably not huge divergence between Canadian and US growth, but I think one of the reasons why the Canadian dollar has been doing a little bit better is because Canada is energy independent. They're not seeing the energy crunch in Canada like they are in Europe. So that's clearly supporting the Loonie. So if we do get 75 basis point rate hike on Wednesday, that should provide a sufficient support to the Loonie in terms of, say, potential sell-offs on the day due to risk-off sentiment. But in the bigger picture, I think it's going to depend on the growth outlook in Canada and the US and what signs we're going to get from policymakers about the future path. Of course, the September meeting, we're not going to get any updated economic projections from the bank, but any hints in the statement about pausing or slowing down the pace of rate increases, that would clearly affect the Loonie as well.
Rafi, thanks so much. The Bank of Canada meets on Wednesday. Thanks for watching this Forex Preview here at XM.com.